After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Hurts a handoff to Sanders. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. The impressive opening drive continues, and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
On 3rd down, they'll run it with Sanders. And he'll have the 1st down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here, because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Quez Watkins, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Eagles get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Elliott good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. First and 10 here for Trubisky and the Steelers at their 25-yard line. A first carry for the second-year man. It's Najee Harris. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
Calling a gain of a yard, and that'll make it 2nd down. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that.
And this throw will be intercepted. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it was a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well. Protect.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. Past the 20. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. Well, it turns out it's not their offense who gets him on the board first, CD. It's the defense coming through right there with a pick 6.
And I know from experience throughout the week when you go against the offense, you're challenging them all the time. You're letting them know, hey, don't worry about scoring this week. We'll take care of it. We'll get a few pick 6s and score ourselves. You're just kidding? But how about what he just did right there? Laid it out for the rest of the game. We scored. Hey, offense, can you keep up with us?
So I'll leave it at 7 now as they kick it away. Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Coming off every player's friend, the open week from last weekend.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. Even if you're coming off of a loss as they did, The open week is exactly what you need after you kind of get over it a little bit, right? Rest up the mind, rest up the body, get yourself ready to go. And they have to be eager to play again, especially since they lost the last time out.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone, and there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Now Austin. It'll be a 44-yard punt, 6 on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
Seven, our score after 1. Second down at 4. They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Trubisky now to throw on 3rd down. He's got a man open. It's Chase Claypool. And he will have a Steelers first down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DM.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That'll be taken in there by Miles Boykin. And they'll bring him down right at midfield, and he is well short of the first down. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
There's another example what defensive coaches constantly preach, not allowing any run after the catch. They gave up a few more yards than they wanted to, but they were able to get him down quickly and force a 4th down.
Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. On 4th down, here's Presley Harvin on to punt. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. No return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards. And the Eagles will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
On 2nd and 10, Hurts. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Cameron Sutton. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
And that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. That's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Another try after the first down sack. Trubisky, he's going to launch this thing way downfield. And this is going to be intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Let's go now. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Here comes another drive from this unit, and Charles, they're coming off a costly mistake on the last possession, an interception in a game that is very close right now.
Well, as we know, they all sting no matter what the situation, but in a one-possession game, that'll hurt a little bit more. But this is an excellent opportunity to make up for it on this drive. I just don't expect them to try and take huge gambles to make up that momentum in a hurry. That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Hurts sets up to throw it. That's swung out wide to Sanders. And he's able to get up here to the 26. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And now we've got a 3rd and 4.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
19, Tiger, 19, Tiger. Left wing, 19. 60 Bobcat, 60 Bobcat. 60 Eagle, 60.
Here's Hurts to throw. This is complete to Watkins on the slant. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 16 for number 16. Well, he's had the interception woes in this one, Charles, and that time a little bold to throw it into double coverage, but he beat the double coverage.
Yeah, but I admire that he still will challenge defenders downfield, even though the ball's been in jeopardy a few times in this game. A nice ball there against multiple defenders, and they advance it downfield.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That goes for a gain of 31. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Play action. Here's Hurts. They'll roll him out right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
What would look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. Hurts. Checks it down to Sermon out of the backfield. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Throwing is Hurts. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. That's big Cameron Hayward adding another sack to his career total. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. They'll put it down right at the 40, so call this a 50-yard attempt. The kick by Elliott is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Steelers going to get the football first here, trailing on the scoreboard as we are back underway on EA Sports. Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter three.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now, they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
From the lineman to the guy running with it, that was a well-executed first down by the offense. With 2 shots left to get the first, you can get a little aggressive here on 2nd down if you want and try for some bigger yardage.
He'll let it fly for Austin. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, Parker, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
They face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. To throw is Newton. On the sideline, did he keep his feet in bounds? They say yes. Great job, both feet in, 1st down. 19 yards that time for number 19. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Harris running straight ahead, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. They fake the give. Newton. Sliding out of the cam, fighting. He lost the football. It's out. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
With no running back.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down. Now it's Newton. He'll let it fly for Austin. And unable to connect, incomplete. Give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Well, the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 18-yard line. It's just a 32-yard punt with no return. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. This Philly offense set to go. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Miles Jack there to make the tackle. A good action to this point in the 3rd quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10. Back to throw here. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Brown. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Birds connecting there with Brown for the Eagles first. A give running left. It's Sanders. And some room to roam now. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 64 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key to left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle. If you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage, you got a chance to rumble.
Lion. Go.
There to stop him, Terrell Edmonds. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Cardinal, 18 Cardinal. Pass to 60, pass to 60. Ready.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Hurts. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. A.J. Brown from 21 yards away. And the Eagles will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. Elliott now to have the extra point. It's good to make it 17-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. It's such a costly interception, nearly a pick 6, but now they're so close they are knocking on the door for a touchdown.
And I never want to get on any team for being aggressive because that's part of what their makeup is, and oftentimes it's successful. But in this case, you've got to be selective about it and make sure you take care of the football. That interception almost cost them 6 points. Now their defense has to run onto the field, probably giving the quarterback a few side eyes along the way. They've got to see if they can stop a score.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Two of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Sanders diving for the end zone, and he is in. Touchdown. An important score there, CD, and now an important extra point because it would make it a 3-score game.
Love the math there, and at this point in the 4th quarter, look, we all need next-gen stats, right? We all use them, but we don't need them here, do we? Because that means it's almost a certain victory.
Oh, I was just about to say he had missed an extra point all season, but there it is. His first miss, no good. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This take it in at the goal line. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
That's it.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. This offense returning out there, and really, you remember the last drive, Charles, it was over before it even began. They threw the interception on the very first play.
And what that means is for all these guys, it's been a while since they've been out there going full speed, so they've got to get everyone back out there, run a couple of your go-to plays, make sure you get your offense oiled up a little bit. They've got to be able to start fast, but they've got to be efficient as well. Especially the quarterback.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Newton. Over the middle, that's caught by Claypool. And he'll be dropped at the 36. It's a good gain of 18 on a play that originated back at the 18. 20. On 1st and 10, Newton. He'll let it fly for Austin. It's caught inside the 25. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
As a general manager, you're counting on your 1st and 2nd round draft picks to have a big-time impact on your team. But where you make your bones, rounds 3 through 7. If you can find a few diamonds in the rough there, develop them, then you've got something going. And we're seeing...
And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line. He's sacked. Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
The Steelers on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and forever. Newton now to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Kaiser White, the former safety, gets the sack. Desperation time. Newton, 4th down. The throw for Claypool is intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury. And the Eagles are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on 4th down. Well, I guess an interception at this point on 4th down is just as bad as an incomplete pass. Either way, the ball goes over to the other side.
Yeah, it's a tough spot to be in this late in the game, and there's not a whole lot he can do there. And he winds up giving the ball away.
He finds some way to turn this into positive yardage as he struggles forward for a pickup of about 2. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
19 tight. 19 tight.
He'll look to throw. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
That ball was tipped in the air, and while it ultimately fell incomplete, it caused a few anxious moments for the guy slinging it, who's had quite a day. He knows how to get it into the end zone. He's throwing it really, really well, and maybe Lady Luck is on his side because he avoided his first interception of the contest.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Well, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
20.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards. Now a play fake, and it's Newton. He's going to air one out. And this is caught. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. So this back now to a 10-point spread, and you have to imagine they'll line up and go for 2.
Oh, no question about it. If they can get this to an 8-point game, they can make things awfully interesting here in these last few minutes.
Cam looking to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. A very pivotal two-point try that does not go their way. Now it's a big uphill battle for the rest of the fourth quarter.
The attempt was to try and make it a one-score game, right? Touchdown, get two, and now you've tied it up. Instead, they don't get it. Still down 10.
Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. Another run here with Sanders. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. T.J. Watt in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Brandon, that's just football 101. If you're out of the pocket, you've got to get rid of the football in this situation. You cannot take a sack in a 2-minute drill.
They're going on 4th down with Hurts. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. Throwing is Newton. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
You get into these 2-minute drill situations, and you often got tired legs on the offensive line. But these defenders, they've been rotating in and out, and they're a little bit fresher and quicker. And the pressure there forced the incompletion.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Here's Newton. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And the Eagles are going to take over at their own 41. Well, obviously, Charles, this stage of the game, down 2 scores, they had to put the football in the air. Unfortunately, it gets picked off.
And the criticism comes easily in situations like this, but you just laid it out. Look where they are on the scoreboard. Look at where the clock is in the game. He has to take a chance here and try and get the ball downfield to his receivers. Unfortunately, it was picked off.
The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. That one looks like he'll throw here. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter, maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. Shoves him aside. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. 33 yards that time.
When teams practice their plays during the week, They're hoping that it's going to pay off on game day, so it sure has to feel good for them when they hit them during a game, and they hit that one there for big yardage.
Hurts. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Quez Watkins, his second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Eagles are an extra point away from making this a 3-score game. And his kick is good, but flags come in. Looks like we're going to get a roughing call here on the follow-through. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. It's a squib kick that still makes its way down inside the 15. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. So